Good evening, believers. How are you doing today? I hope that you're well, but if you're not well, I'm glad you're here because we are going on the healing path today for the Healing Hour Live. My name is Love Coach Dasha, and I am here to help you along the healing path after infidelity. You are here because you have been through a trauma, right? You have been through the trauma of the person that you love very, very much, the person that you want to spend your life with, cheating on you. And although lots and lots of people will tell you that's just impossible, you can never be together again, you have to just kick him to the curb, I am here to tell you that if you do want to stay with the person that you love after infidelity, it is not only possible, it can be a delightful, wonderful, happy, romantic, trusting relationship again. It does not have to be filled with sorrow and grief and stress for the rest of your life. Even if that is what your life is right now, a whole bunch of sorrow and grief and stress, I hope that it's not. But if it is, I promise you by the end of the healing hour, you will have some things that you can do to start alleviating some of that stress, to start making it feel a little bit better, getting you to a better place. Hey there, Lori. Glad to see you. All right, let me make sure I can. Why can't I see? I am looking for my feed on the Facebook group. My Facebook group is Love After Cheating. If you are a woman who has been cheated on and you are trying to stay in your relationship, that is the place that you need to be to come on in and feel like, all right, I'm not abnormal. I'm not strange. There are plenty of other women that are right here doing the exact same thing that I am. I'm going to stop giving myself such a hard time about it. So if you have been giving yourself a hard time about loving this person still, about wanting to still be with them, come on and join the Love After Cheating group. Come talk to me because, honey, you're not doing anything wrong at all. Hey, Lori, I see you, girl. Hi. How are you doing? I am glad that you're here with me today. All right. So let's see. We're going to start where we always start. We're going to start off with the simplest possible thing that you can be doing right this second to start to calm yourself, to center yourself, to make yourself feel a little bit better after this type of trauma. Because don't get it twisted, this is a trauma. You have been through a huge trauma, but it is not an unusual trauma, okay? This is something that so many women have been through, so many men too, as a matter of fact, but I help the women, and it is not out of the ordinary for you to feel any of the things that you feel. However, you are going to have to get back in control of your feelings. You're going to have to regulate your feelings in order to be able to heal. If you just want to stay mad for the rest of your life, then you really don't have to do too much. Your brain will keep on helping you to stay mad and to stay hurt and to stay distant for as long as you choose. But if you want to get closer again, if you want this to start to be better, if you want to get back together, if you want to connect again, if you want to be intimate again, you're going to need to start to that healing process. You're going to need to start down the healing path. So I am here to help you with that today. All right. So the very first thing that you need to know about healing from a trauma is breathing. You need to be working on your deep breathing. That needs to be something that you are consistently working on. This is not just a one-time fix. This is not just, oh, I do it one time and I'll feel better and everything will be okay. No. We need to be doing this at least 5 times a day. All right. We need to be working on this consistently. All right. That's going to be a key word as you're listening to me, as you hear me. If you go back in any of my videos on YouTube, on Love After Cheating group, you will know that is one of my favorite words, consistency. You have to be consistent in the things that you're doing to try and heal. It does not work any other way. Your brain will take over on autopilot and make you miserable if you are not consistently working against that agenda. Okay. So the first thing that you can do is do your deep breathing. We are doing a 4-7-8 technique. That is just the one that I do. You can pick whatever pattern you would like. It does not matter at all. Hey, Peachy. Hi. I see you. Hey, girl. I don't care which one you use. It does not matter. But you need to be doing your deep breathing. So I have given you, I have a video on YouTube right this second. It says start here and breathe. Okay. It is That is what it's all about, is me sitting there walking you through the deep breathing technique. So if you need that, you can go to my YouTube channel, my Love Coach Dasha YouTube channel, and go watch me help you count out the breathing. But I also do it in these lives. So you can pick any one of those and go back and do the deep breathing with me, all right? But since we're here together, we might as well go and do it. PG, thank you so much, girl. I appreciate that. I'm trying to be cute for y'all. And I'm trying to tell you, this Icon lipstick, this Fenty, honey, this lipstick, I am just in love with it. I can talk this entire hour and it stays put. Love it. All right. But thank you so much. Appreciate it, huh? All right, so we're going to do our deep breathing. Remember, I want you to be doing this 5 times a day, okay? This needs to be a consistent thing so that you can bring that anxiety up the level from way up here and start to drag it down, okay? We need to get it to a place where we can hold on to it, where it's not up above our heads and more than we can deal with. We need to start bringing that anxiety down. So that's what we're doing with the deep breathing. So we're going to do it 3 times together. What you're going to do is you're going to blow out, try and deflate your lungs, get all of that out of there. Then you're going to inhale through your nose if you can. If you can't, allergies or whatever, go ahead and breathe through your mouth. But inhale for a count of 4. Then you're going to hold that breath for a count of 7. And then you are going to blow out like you're blowing out birthday candles for a count of 8, okay? It's a very simple thing to do. If you smoke, if you haven't been doing your deep breathing, it may be a little bit difficult that first time around. But trust me, do it with me a couple of times, you'll have it down. All right? All right. Oh, what'd you say? Oh, wait. Somebody's talking about the breathing. Hold on. Let me see. Lori, yes, the breathing. She said, Coach has helped me with this technique. So important. It is so important. I'm trying to tell you. I had really bad anxiety before this even happened, before I even was cheated on. And that was my key thing. That was my thing, was figuring out these breathing techniques and actually using them. Hey, girl, that was the thing, to start using them and start doing it on a regular basis. It brought that anxiety way, way down. It made it so that I could get a grip on it instead of it just being a big monster just beating me in the head all the time. Trust me, you got to work on the deep breathing. That is the first and foremost thing I'm always going to tell you, no matter what you are talking to me about as far as your healing, you need to be doing your deep breathing. All right? So we're at 4, 7, 8. Blow out. Inhale for 4. Hold for 7. Blow out again for 8. Come on and join me. All right? So we're going to blow out. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Last time, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. How does that feel? How does it feel when you're doing the deep breathing? Because you should start to feel some differences. Your body is being affected by this trauma. It is not just in your head. It is not just in your heart, okay? This is a physical experience you are having. When you have gone through a trauma, your brain goes through changes and your body goes through changes right along with it. So when you do your deep breathing, you are counteracting some of those changes. You are making your blood pressure go down. You are making your pulse slow. You are making your breathing slow down and deepen instead of being shallow hyperventilation. You are helping yourself in so many ways by doing the deep breathing. So let me know. BG, you said you smiled after, right? You got some oxygen to your brain. There's not as much doom and gloom when you get some oxygen to your brain. When your brain is like, oh, I can breathe now. Your brain is like, okay, well, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe things are not as bad as I think they are. I'm glad that made you smile. It will work wonders with trying to go to sleep at night. If the thoughts are bothering you and you're having a hard time falling asleep, just focus on your breathing. Do your deep breathing 3 or 4 times and see, don't you drift right on off, because you are activating a different part of your brain. That part of your brain that is anxious and stressed out all the time, that part gets kind of pushed to the side when you are doing an activity like using your brain to count that breath and slowly inhaling and slowly exhaling. You are telling your brain to use a different portion, so it'll help you to get to go to sleep. Okay, so there are so many benefits to it. I was a nurse for 20 years, and I'm trying to tell you, that's one of the first things I ever did with people. People are having pain. That is always going to work. Deep breathing always helps with pain. It always does, because you are feeding your body extra oxygen. And most of the pain is usually because the oxygen is a little bit cut off. You know what I mean? Like, most pain is, and we're not getting enough oxygen to those tissues. Those tissues are suffering a little bit. Let's get a little bit extra oxygen in there. We're going to feel a little bit better. I take care of people with like sickle cell disease, that areas of their body get blocked off by their blood vessels. But if they use those deep breathing techniques, some of that pain is alleviated because it's feeding oxygen to the place that is not getting as much oxygen as it needs to be. So altogether, breathing is a wonderful thing. Hi there, Lou. I see you over there on Instagram. Hey, girl. Glad you're here with me. You was with me last night. Lou was in my recovery and reconciliation program. I'm trying to tell you, great group of girls right there. If you want to talk to me about getting in my group, come on, let me know. Send me a message, and I'll talk to you about getting in my reconciliation group, my recovery and reconciliation group, R&R. All right, now let's see the second thing. The second thing that I'm always going to tell you to do every single time we get together, you're going to hear me say this: do your journaling. Okay, this is a trauma. You have been through trauma, and I know you've heard that journaling about trauma helps the trauma. It helps you to heal. That's what we're going for. We need that, right? We need some healing. What you want to do is take your date, your time, and your level of anxiety. That needs to go on every single solitary page that you write. Even if you don't fill up a whole page, it's fine. But just make sure that that's one of the first things you put down on the page. Date, time, level of anxiety. Date and time for the fact that you need to be able to look back and find any patterns. You may find that every Thursday at 8:18 p.m., you are going to feel some kind of way. You're a little triggered. Things feel a little off for you. You would know that if you were consistently writing in your journal. Okay, I feel off. It's Thursday at 8:18. I'm feeling a little off this week. And then you go back and look at it and be like, oh, last Thursday I felt the same way. What's going on Thursday? What is something that is triggering me on Thursday? Might be a Thursday was the day that you found out. All sorts of things are connected that you don't realize until you've actually written them down. So once you be working on doing your journaling. Now, what kind of journal? Does not matter. Does not matter at all. Some pages that you can write on. That's all that matters. I have right here, this is a Be Mindful journey, a journey of wellness of body and mind. This has prompts in it. It has prompts everywhere in the book, but it's still got spaces to write, things to write down. Let's see. Oh, I've got the Golden Girls over here. Just lovely seeing Rose and Blanche, in the cover of the book, but it is also just line pages that you can sit and fill up however you'd like to. Now, you want to do this at least twice a day. You want to do this 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night, because you need to get this stuff out. All right. When you let it start backing up, you're going to start to explode. Okay. But now, if you're doing this on a regular basis, you're going to start to feel better. You're going to start to feel like you've gotten some of it out. Instead of going and blowing up at him about what he did, you can go and write it in your journal, get some of that out, be thinking about it, and then be able to maybe see it from a different perspective. Now, your anxiety level, you need to know about that. Anxiety level 0 to 10. A 10 is as high as it can get. Your anxiety cannot be any higher than that, okay? That's as high as it can go. That's as big as it can get. It can never get any bigger than that, okay? That's the worst. A 10 is a loss of control. A 10 is I want to rip my hair out, tear my clothes off, run screaming down the street naked. That is a 10. A 10 is a loss of that control of yourself. So chances are you're not going to be sitting down writing in your journal if you are feeling a loss of control of yourself. But that's a good thing to know. When you sit down at your journal and you're like, okay, well, it can't be a 10. It maybe feels pretty awful. It might be a 9, but it's not a 10 because I'm not ripping my hair out and running down the street naked. So must be less than a 10. That's a good thing. You'll know that. And then if you start putting that number at the beginning and at the end of each journal entry, you will see that you actually make yourself feel a little bit better when you're just writing it down. Just taking 5 minutes to write your thoughts down. It will alleviate some of that pressure, okay? And you'll be able to go back and see even days that you thought were so bad, or weeks that you thought were so bad, you'll come to find out that they weren't as bad as you thought they were, because trauma affects your memory. Trauma makes you think that everything is awful all of the time, and you will have your journal to prove your brain on trauma is incorrect. No, things are not awful all the time. I am okay. Things are all right. I don't feel like, I felt like for a minute that it was terrible, but guess what? I don't think it is now that I've reread my journal and I know about what happened this week. So it helps you with your memory. It's a good thing. Oh, Aliska, you made it to a live, girl. Hey, you asked some questions, so you wanted to answer those questions. I know. We're going to talk about that, girl. We're going to talk about that. Laura, you said my triggers are right before the full moon. Now I know I'm not crazy. Girl, I'm trying to tell you, the full moon just drags them out of you. We just passed the new moon, so you got a little bit. You got a couple of weeks before day before yesterday was new moon. So you got a couple of weeks before the next full moon, before your next emotional pulling, that tugging of your heart that the moon does. I don't know what it is. The moon just affects us. The moon affects the tides, and we're made up of mostly water. So I guess that's what it is. It pulls on that water a little bit, makes us a little bit emotional. I don't know what it is, but at least you know it now. That's the key to triggers, is knowing what it is. That's why it's a good thing to write down, to journal about it, so that you can recognize what your triggers are, and then you'll be prepared for them ahead of time. Instead of letting them sneak up and hit you in the back of the head, you are going to be like, no, I see that trigger coming. Let me start to do something about that right now. I don't want to feel like that. I want to feel good. So, all right, I know that that's going to be a trigger. So if that particular topic comes up again, I'm going to know what to do about it. All right. So that's an excellent thing. Glad you know ahead of time that the trigger is there. Any kind of journaling, 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening. 5 minutes in the morning just to get your thoughts together, to give yourself a little bit of self-care, to show yourself that you care about yourself, to show yourself that you are important as you go out into the day. My words, my thoughts are important. Let me write them down. They count for something, okay? It gives you a little bit of a boost to go out and do your day. And then at night, before you get ready to go to bed, if you take a little bit of time, little self-care, get your little tea together. I am in love with chamomile right now. It puts me out in like a half hour. It's a beautiful thing. Take your journal, sit and write in your journal for about 5 minutes, finish off your tea, have the lights low, don't have the TV and stuff on, just get yourself ready for bed. You're going to have the best sleep, and you're going to be able to get to the point where you're not having those nightmares, you're not having all that difficulty falling asleep because of this trauma, because you are pampering yourself and babying yourself and self-caring yourself into having a beautiful night. All right. So all important stuff. You need to be taking care of yourself. All right. I'm always going to tell you to take care of yourself. That's like the first thing to healing, is to take care of yourself. All right. All right. Usually I do Thirsty Thursday, which is another way to feel a little bit better, another way to feel more positive. I put up Thirsty Thursday posts to tell me good stuff that has happened with you, but I didn't have anybody post today. So if you do have anything for Thirsty Thursday and you're on with me live, go ahead and let me know. Even if you're not on with me live, if you're here with me on the replay, that is perfectly fine. I love you just as much for coming to the replay. Let me know if you have a Thirsty Thursday for me, some good thing that happened to you this week that made you feel good, that made you feel positive about the relationship. Happy times. Tell me about it. All right. All right. And then besides that, we got the deep breathing to help you with the trauma. We got journaling to help you with trauma. We got talking about good stuff to help you with trauma. Also, there is one other thing that women tend to do when they are in the midst of this trauma. They want to ask a whole bunch of questions. Have you been asking questions? Have you been asking questions that you know you don't really want the answer to? Every time the answer to you is painful or you don't believe him? All right. I have a solution for that, all right? Because it's hard when you don't have the trust built up, so you don't all the way believe everything he's saying, but then you want to believe like the terrible things because the trauma is telling you to believe those terrible things. So instead of asking about the affair, instead of asking about the cheating itself, now what positions were we in and where did you go with her? Did you spend any money? You don't need to know all that, all right? That is not necessary for your healing. I promise you, cross my heart, you do not need all of that extra information. As a matter of fact, it stalls your healing for you to have all that information because your brain is not going to let it go. Your brain is like, remember he said this and that? This is horrible. We should never forgive him. It's going to have ammunition to use against your healing if you fill in all of those blanks and give yourself all of that information. So instead of doing that, I suggest the And deck. This is the deck from what is it called? The skindeep.com. Check that out. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And the and.com, it has a whole bunch of different sets, but it is just questions that you can ask with your honey. You know, you can talk, you can heal. Give yourself a better question to ask. If you want to ask questions, your brain is yelling at you to ask questions anyway. Let's do something constructive with that instead of sabotaging ourselves. All right? Griselda, hey, girl, glad you're here. I see you. Glad everybody is with me today. Love it. Carol, did I say hey to you? Hi. All right, so here's the first question. The first question we're going to ask, when was the last time you healed through me? Ooh, that's a deep one right there. When was the last time you healed through me? Can you see it over here? When was the last time you healed through me? And you know, that's an excellent question to ask him, and it's an excellent question for you to ask yourself to think about, you know, to consider, like, when was the last time he helped heal something with you? I'll tell you about that. My husband, when I met him, you know, I was just deeply in love. I was just all over him, but I had some childhood trauma that involved beer. The person that molested me when I was young, always smelled like beer, always smelled like beer. So that smell was a trigger for me. Okay. Super duper trigger. And it was weird because, you know, I had really just first met him and I was already like, oh no, I don't want you to drink beer around me. And I was like, now, okay, I understand, you know, if you're triggered by things and it gives you a hard time, but the problem is with that, if you avoid a trigger, you don't get the trigger to lessen. The trigger gets stronger when you are trying to avoid it. So all of these years in between, that trigger had been getting stronger. I had been getting turned off and not really wanting to be around people because of the smell of beer. And beer didn't have anything to do with hurting me. It was that person who hurt me. So my husband was like, look, I understand that you have some issues with that. I get it. But he was like, I like to have a beer and unwind. And he was like, I'm not going to stop being who I am to be in a relationship. I don't drink all the time, which he didn't. You know, it was just every now and again he would pop one open, watching a game or whatever, hanging out. But for a while I was like, it made me tense. But then I realized that I love this person. And I was reacting to fear from somebody else with my person. And I was like, I'm not going to let this dude ruin, you know, the person that hurt me. I'm not going to let him ruin me and ruin being with the person that I really love because that smell is a trigger for me. So that was one thing, like at the very beginning of our relationship, I healed that. I was like, okay, I'm going to choose a different path. I am not going to allow this trigger to run my life. I am not going to allow it to let me feel afraid and let me feel vulnerable. I am not going to do that because this is not a person that I feel afraid and vulnerable with. And that was one thing that healed through him. That was one way that I healed through him. So as you think about it, you know, as you're going through your day, that's probably a good question to ask, but that would be an excellent question to ask for him too. All right, Aliska. Oh, you gave me a Thirsty Thursday, Aliska. Good. I love good stuff. Oh, I love to hear good news. Honey, I just thrive on it. I love it. I hear so much drama and I hear so much trauma from people. I love to hear when things are going well. So always, if you're in my group, always give me some Thirsty Thursday because it really boosts me up. Thirsty Thursday for Aliska. She said, I am so glad for the improved communication that comes with the work we put in. Girl, that's what I'm saying. When you actually put the work in, you start reaping those benefits. Things start happening. Things start going well. I've been traveling a lot since May, and our phone calls with big time difference used to be a source of conflict. Oh, okay. Now we actually enjoy calling each other, resolve frustrations, and end the call if one of us feels like we don't have the patience for technical issues that sometimes come up. Very proud of us. And Aliska, girl, I am very proud of you myself. That is good work. I remember where you were just a few weeks ago, and you would not have been at that place just a few weeks ago. Excellent work. I am very proud of you. Good job. Love to hear good news. Love to hear progress. Okay, honey, even if you're making slow motion progress, slow motion is better than no motion, okay? Inching towards healing is better than staying stuck in pain. Whatever you got to do to inch your way forward and get to that happily ever after, damn it, go for it. I am all the way for you. I am going to support you in that, okay? BJ, you said, I have not had coffee yesterday, but in an area within the workplace where I have a view of the outside. Oh, girl, yes. With wonderful lights, seeing other people walking, and it relaxed me. Excellent. See, that's some self-care. Got to sit, got to have the light, got to have the outside view, I didn't have the coffee, didn't have that caffeine going through you and everything. You had a great day. Good job. That's good stuff that you're doing for yourself over there. I'm feeling it. All right, let's do another question. It says, what has time healed for you? And what have you learned from healing? Ooh, I want to ask all of y'all that. What has time healed for you? And what have you learned from healing? What has time healed for you? And what have you learned from healing? Let's see. What have I learned from healing? I have learned from healing that I have way more power about healing than I ever thought that I did. Honey, I used to believe that all my healing had to come from somebody else. And finding out that I was super wrong about that and I could do the healing, oh my God, I feel like Superwoman. I feel like, oh, well, nothing can beat me now. Now that I know that I can fix myself, I can fix all of my stuff and I can heal myself. Shoot, I don't need nobody. Feeling good about myself. And, oh, this is an interesting question. What do you see that I don't? Excellent questions to ask today. Those are good ones. I love it. What do you see that I don't? That could be he asked you, you could ask him. Either way, I want you to give yourself a little bit better question to ask. If you're getting ready to ask a question, make sure it's a question that is going to be constructive and not destructive. It is very easy to ask questions that are setups. That is, I just wanted you to say this particular thing in response to that so I can yell at you some more. It is very easy to do. I just don't want you, I want you to be aware of that, and I want you to be choosing better questions to ask instead of traumatizing yourself further by trying to set him up to ask a question that is just going to devastate you. Let's ask some constructive questions. All right? That sound good to y'all? I'm glad. All righty, let's see. Love to hear the good stuff happening. Things are wonderful. I love that. Now, all right, so this week we're going to start all over again because last week, I just described for you the dreams formula. That is how I myself went through the process of healing after the infidelity. I took the things that I kept getting stuck on, the things that would end up causing an argument, the things that would stress me out and make me feel afraid, make me feel anxious. I took those things and I addressed each one of those. So D is for the decision. Sometimes the decision is hard. You feel like, is it really my decision? I want him to decide if we're going to be together because he did this. It is not his decision. It is all your decision. It is about you and how you feel about him, not about what he did, because there are going to be circumstances forever and ever, okay? There's always going to be a circumstance in a relationship, but it has to be about the person. Do I love this person enough to feel like, okay, I want to heal from this? All right. Second thing is the R, the recognizing and overcoming the fear speech. You got to recognize those thoughts that are going on in your head that are telling you awful things that are making you feel like you cannot do this. You need to start recognizing those thoughts, write them down in your journal, and then you need to start countering them. Fight them. Fight those thoughts. Those thoughts are not you. You, my friend, are very loving and forgiving and kind and open and vulnerable and wonderful. Those thoughts are not any of those things. So we need to make sure that we are not behaving like those thoughts that we are having, and those thoughts are not really who we are, okay? Let's see. Ooh, BTSC, you got a question. I'm going to get back to you. All right, got the D, got the R. E is for evaluating the why. Why is it that this happened? Why did he do this? Because hurt people, right? So if this is about him being in pain in some way, then you can have a little bit more compassion for that, instead of thinking that it's, oh, he just doesn't love me, he just doesn't care, he was willing to risk our family. If it wasn't that, if the real reason why has to do with him having some sort of pain, then you can find a little bit of compassion, a little mercy in you for moving forward. Could be 3 reasons. My 3 reasons are sick, sad, stupid. Okay, sick is what it sounds like. Sick is being ill in some way. My husband has bipolar disorder. And that may or may not cause people to cheat, but it is a symptom. All right. There is, mental illness, physical illness, hormonal imbalances, all of those types of things are illnesses, and all of those types of things will cause people to be in pain and do things that they should not be doing. All right. Then we've got the sad portion. Sad is usually a loss of some kind. They have lost their sense of identity. They have lost connection with you and the relationship. They have lost a real person. It could be they have lost somebody in their family or in their close circle has passed away. All sorts of things like that, all sorts of losses. That grief can cause problems. Those grieving feelings can make you do things that you would never have done before just to not feel the grief for a little bit. Then there is stupid. Stupid is not exactly what it sounds like. Stupid is not them being stupid. Stupid is all of the stupid that we are taught about being in relationships. How men are taught to treat women, how women are taught to treat men, how his mother and his father got along, who cheated there, who was telling him that he should have 13 girlfriends if he was a real man. All of that stuff, all of that history stuff that most of us are dealing with is the stupid part, okay? And if you were raised that way, you think that that's normal. You think that that's okay. And you got to understand from their perspective that, okay, yes, I understand that you thought that this was the right way to go about things because this is what you saw, but we need to learn better and do better, and I'm going to expect that from you going forward. All right. Then we've got the A, which is allowing the healing to happen. Let down that wall. Do the things that make you feel close again. Have sex. Put your ring back on. Get together. Do the things that make you feel like you're in love with this person. M is for managing the future feelings. Those triggers. When you are feeling a trigger in that body space, when you are feeling that in your chest, when you are feeling it in your stomach cramping up, if you are sweating, if you are clenched up, you can recognize those feelings, find out what the trigger is from, and actually do something about it before it destructs everything that you have been working on. And then S is for support. You need to seek that support. You need to get people who get you. Okay, you need to get people who understand that you have found your person, and damn it, that is something that means something. I see that this person makes you happy. If you're making the decision that you want to still be with them after the cheating, I am fully behind you. I love you anyway, and I want to help you in any way, shape, or form I can. That is the support that you need. You do not need the people that are behind you talking about, well, you just need to leave him. I don't know why you didn't leave him, girl. I don't know why you're still trying to do this. He's just going to hurt you again. All of that, you don't need all that in your life, okay? You need to let those people pass on by, because they're just that fear speech again. That second stage of the dreams formula. That fear speech is a little contagious. When you hear that from other people, it starts to infect your mind, and your trauma starts saying like, yeah, what she said. And now you got her voice and your voice in your head at the same time, battling against the idea of healing. All right. So we need to make sure that we're looking at that. That's why I started doing this. I wanted to be your support. I wanted to help you out. So in that spirit, in the group and in my link tree on my Instagram, I have some upcoming slots for some free sessions with me. I think I may do it maybe one more time, like towards the end of the year, but I think this may be the last time that I have like free sessions. I think I'm going to have to start charging for these, because it's a lot of people. I can't keep up. You know what I mean? So I think this may be the last time that it's going to be free sessions. I think I'm going to attach some kind of fee to it. It's going to be low. It's not going to be more than $27. Okay. But for right now, it is absolutely free, and I want you to come talk to me. I will give you that support. I will talk to you. I will give you a plan. I will give you some steps to go through, things that you can do right now to start feeling better, and I will make you smile. I'll make you feel a little bit better by the end of the conversation. I promise. Who else is here? Liska, you've talked to me before. Lori's talked to me before. Lou, you've talked to me before. Let them know. When you talk to me, you're going to feel a little bit better, right? Let them know. If you're here, if you're watching it on the replay and you've had a session with me, let people know that it is good. You feel pretty good when you talk to me. You see things from a little bit different perspective. You're getting that support that you need, okay? All right. Anyway, let's go on talking about today's topic. Today, we're starting off from the very beginning. We're talking about your decision. And there's just a little bit that I want to say about that. My decision was easy. All right. There were times, plenty of times over the years, especially when he cheated several times, that I felt like, oh, I might just leave. And then the next second, my brain was like, oh, no, you're not. No, this is the person. This is the one. This is the person that you want to be with. You are not going anywhere. You need to work this out. All right. So it was always pretty easy for me. All right. I loved him. When I met my husband, I just can't tell you. I had plenty of boyfriends. I had plenty of people propose to me before. I'm trying to tell you, meeting him just shook my world, okay? I knew he was the one. I knew it as sure as I was standing there. I knew as sure as the sun rose in the sky in the morning that this was the person for me. I knew that, the first conversation. So when the whole cheating thing happened and it was, oh, well, most people say you should just leave. I was like, well, hell with that. You're not going to ruin my happily ever after. I love this dude. He's not going to mess it up for me. I am not going to allow that to happen. So your decision may not be that easy, okay? It may be a little bit more difficult for you. But deep down, it really all comes down to the love. It really comes down to that. Don't stay for money and financial stability, because that's not going to work. You're just going to be all resentful. It's not going to work out well. Even if you end it, it's still not going to work out well. Don't do it for the children, okay? Your kids can tell where you're just staying together because they're around versus, oh, we wouldn't be together at all if we didn't have you. It puts too much on them. That is putting entirely too much on your children. They did not have anything to do with you all being together. You chose one another. If you want to be together, it can't be about those kids because they're going to leave. My daughter just turned 18. She got her first job. I'm trying to tell you, she is trying to get up out of here and she wants to go ahead and start her life. And that's exactly what she's supposed to do. If you're a good parent, your kids are eventually going to want to leave. So you're going to be stuck with the person that you put on the back burner or you said that you only wanted to be with for the kids. And now we're looking at each other like, oh, well, now the kids are gone. So is it over? Is the whole thing done? It creates a lot of confusion and it just doesn't work. So it has to all be your decision, and your decision has to be because you love this person. All right. That is what I have to say about the decision. Okay. That's it. If you don't take anything else away from talking to me tonight, that is the one thing that I want to tell you. You got to just love this person and know that this is the person that you want to be with in spite of their stupidity, in spite of them doing things wrong, because you're going to be stupid sometimes too. You're going to do things wrong too. And in a lifetime together, you're going to forgive over and over and over again. And there's nothing wrong with that. It is part of the whole loving process. All right. Does that make sense to everybody? Everybody feeling what I'm feeling about the decision making here? Let me see. I got questions. Oh, Lily said, yeah, you clear my brain every single time. See, that's what I try and do. I try and help you out, try and clear some of those weeds out, get you to a better place, because the trauma will insist upon things that don't necessarily have to be true. Like the trauma will insist he never loved you. He never loved you. This was not real. This whole relationship was just a fantasy in your head, and he was always unfaithful. He never wanted to be with you at all. That's what the trauma will tell you, but you were in this relationship. You love this person. You wouldn't be this devastated if you didn't think that the relationship was going to be all right. So it's a lie. I want to tell you that it's a lie. I want to reveal that to you, clear the weeds a little bit so you can get back on the healing path. All right. Thank you very much, Lou. Let them know. Let's see. Aliska said, go get a session while you can. I didn't say it. Aliska said it. That's what I'm saying. All right. BG. Okay, now let's go ahead and get to some questions. Love to answer your questions. BG, since you're here, I'll answer you first. Well, actually, Aliska asked questions first, and she's been here too. So let me go ahead and go to Aliska first. Aliska asked a good question earlier. Where is it? Hold on. There it is. All right, Aliska said, let's talk about how to open up more to our partners when we feel guarded and scared to get close. Excellent topic. And about determination, the day in, day out grind to stay on the healing track. All right, excellent. And that goes along with your decision too, because whenever I had problems, whenever I was stuck on my path, and my determination was fading, I had to go back to my decision. I had to go back to, wait, I've already decided this. I don't need to question myself at all anymore. I know exactly what I want to do. I want this to work out. I want to be loving and kind and open and vulnerable and happy with this person. That is always the decision. And if you know that, waking up in the morning, before you put foot to the floor in the morning, if you say to yourself, I'm going to heal a little bit more today. I'm going to forgive a little bit more today. We are going to be a little closer today. And make your decision when you get up, when you first start off the day. Your brain is going to remember that. You've given yourself an affirmation. Everything that you say, positive or negative, is an affirmation. It's an affirmation of the positive or it's an affirmation of the negative. So every morning you say to yourself, this is this decision that I'm making. This is what I want. And this is what I'm doing. And that's what I'm going to follow through with. Every time I get the opportunity, if something is painful for me in the day and it makes me want to lash out, it makes me want to do something that is negative, I'm going to think about that. I'm going to say, no, I don't want to do that. I want to be positive. His phone dings and your brain and the trauma says, that's that bitch. He is on the phone with this girl again. You shouldn't trust him. You should never trust him. All right. Honestly, could it just be his phone is dinging? Could it just be that? It doesn't necessarily have to be what the fear is telling you it is, okay? You need to start questioning that surety that is in your head when you are feeling so terrible and so negative. Isn't that voice super sure? Right? That voice is super sure inside your head. It's like, yes, this is exactly the way it is. Are you ever that sure in your life? Are you day to day walking around with that sort of assurance in everything that you do? I don't think so. I don't. Okay. That's how you know. When that thing is in your head and so sure that everything is going to go wrong, everything is terrible, you need to question that. You need to stop yourself and say, wait. Why am I so sure that that is the case? What is making me positive about that? Do I have any evidence of that? Let me ask myself a few questions first and check with yourself and see if that is really true, or is it a fear thought? Is it a fear speech in your head that is messing with you, that you've heard from somebody else, that you are absorbing and you are internalizing for yourself? question that. All right. So always question when you're super sure and your body is reacting to things and your brain is reacting to things. You got to question that. Is this real? Is this just a trigger? I think this might just be a trigger. Let me do a little bit of deep breathing, calm myself, situate myself, and get myself together, because I don't think that this is real. Not my real life. This is my anxiety talking. This is my trauma talking to me. That's not really who I am. So I'm going to change my mind about that. You said when you're feeling guarded and scared, okay, you may be triggered. Do the exact opposite of what the fear tells you to do. That's the best thing. Lil, you with me? She said that makes sense. That is the best thing that you can possibly do, is whatever that fear is telling you. Like when I'm upset with my husband, like, because we're always touching. We hold hands all the time. When dead, we have our feet linked up together. Like, we're always touching. We're always skin to skin. But if I'm mad, my brain is like, don't touch him. Move over. Don't touch him. And so then I'm like, wait. The fear, some pain, some anger is saying that to me. Is that who I really am? That's not who I really am. Who I really am is I want to touch. I want to be close. I want to play footsie. I want to hold hands. I want to be all up on him. So I'm doing something that the fear is telling me to do that isn't me. It's not real for me. It's not authentic to who I am. So I can't listen to that. I can't just say, oh, well, the fear said don't touch him, so I can't touch him. No. We're not letting the fear win like that. Whatever the fear says, it is wrong. It is lying. If your heart is racing, if you are stressed out about it, you're probably wrong about it. It is probably an anxiety reaction, and you can stop that by saying, no, I'm not going to listen to that. I am not going to do what the fear is telling me to do, because that is not authentic to who I am as a person. And it's a constant, talking to yourself. And part of it feels like it's you, but it's really not you, because it's not what you really want. So, you talk to that part of yourself, you tell that part of yourself, hey, look, I get that you're trying to protect me, brain. I get that you don't want me to be hurt, but first of all, nobody ever said that I wasn't going to get hurt. I am willing to risk a little bit of pain in order to have the love and the life that I want to live. And so you can calm down. You can sit on down in the back seat and let me drive this car. All right. Does that make sense to you, Aliska? You let me know. I can get off on a rant on that. Yeah, because the fear will tell you all sorts of lies. The fear will just be telling you lies. You're not good enough. You're too fat. You're ugly. The fear is awful. The fear will start telling you things that don't even make sense. You can't let yourself be caught up in the delusions that the fear is trying to produce in your brain. Don't believe everything the fear is telling you, honey. It'd be lying to you. All right. Let's see. What else? All right. Now I can come on here and ask it's Beachy's question. Hey, Beachy. So the question is, wait, it flipped over. Hold on. Let me go back. Can I see? All right. It says, if your husband is not that vocal, I also feel that he's still healing from what we went through. How can I be more patient? It keeps me getting frustrated every time. You learn to be quiet too. Learn that. Learn to not be so vocal. We always want to talk about things, and that is part of who we are as women. Okay. Back in the day, we're cave people. The men would go off into the bush and they would have to be quiet because they are hunting. You got to shut up to be able to catch something, all right? So they learn to communicate in different ways than we learn to communicate. We were back in the village. We are growing the food. We are dealing with the children. We are dealing with the older people. We have to talk. We have to sit there and communicate verbally to be able to connect with the people that we are helping to take care of. I am saying, when you're trying to connect with your warrior, when you're trying to connect with your man out here after he's done hunting, you bring him and you just sit quietly with him. Okay, I promise you it is a skill that you need to learn, and the skill that you will appreciate a little later on. Because, honey, I learned to really appreciate the idea that I don't have to keep talking. We don't have to keep talking about everything all the time. We don't have to. We're okay. We can sit here and we can talk, and or we can sit here and we can be quiet. And learning to do that was a kind of a steep learning curve for me because I'm a talker. You see I can talk. But learning to sit and be in the same space with him and not feel like I have to say something or else something must be wrong. He's not thinking about me. He's not talking to me. He's not saying anything. So something must be wrong then. There was nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with sitting in silence with the person that you love. It is a gorgeous, extravagant feeling to be able to sit and not have to say a single solitary word. I promise you it is. So for you, learn to do that. Try that first. Try it his way. Okay, I will tell you this. Men are the less complex beings, okay? We are the more complex beings, okay? We like to talk a lot. If you can learn how to communicate, how to behave in the ways that he does, and start to understand him like that and start to do those things, learning how to just be quiet, learning how to just be in the same space together and not anxious about talking about something or saying something or having a conversation all the time, you are going to be speaking his language. He's going to feel more comfortable being able to open up. Because if you're always talking, he doesn't have time to talk. He doesn't have the chance to be vocal with you because you're filling up too much of the space. If he won't talk, maybe you shouldn't talk either. Maybe you should just chill, sit next to him, hold hands, love on each other a little bit, and just not feel the need to talk a lot. Does that, you tell me, Vigi, let me know. Am I sounding crazy? Does that make sense to you? Let me know. All right, let's see. Or to everybody, does that make sense to you? I promise it is a very funny thing when you start to just be able to just be in the same room and you're not giving him the silent treatment. That's not what I'm talking about. Because the silent treatment doesn't work. By the way, it doesn't. They're happy to be quiet. It's fine with them. So the silent treatment doesn't work. So if you are sitting next to him and you are just being silent, just being in the moment, just breathing, just being with the person that you love, beam a little love at him. You know what I mean? If he's sitting next to you, go ahead and in your head, beam a little bit of love and loving dust at him if you really want to. But just sit there and be quiet and be together and just chill and see how well that changes your relationship. Do it several times a week. He's going to be amazed. He's going to start talking eventually because he's going to be like, well, what's happening? What are you doing? I am just learning to sit and be quiet with you. I'm telling you, he's going to be delighted. I'm trying to tell you, he's going to love that. All right. BG said that's exactly how he is. Oh my, I'll try to do that. That's exactly how mine is too. It is a skill. If you learn it, it is invaluable. Just being able to sit there and not say anything, I promise you, it will give you so many rewards. It really will, because he'll want to talk then. It's so weird. All of a sudden he'll have something to say. Like my husband, like more often now has stuff to say, even when I'm just trying to sit there and be quiet. We're like, we talking? Oh, okay. Hey, hi, what's going on? So try it, definitely. Not giving him the silent treatment, just peaceful. Just, I am glad to be in your space. I am glad that we are here together, but we ain't got to talk. We ain't got to be all interacting, okay? It will work, I promise you. Lori said, I am thankful for the time she helped me and anyone going through challenges to do coaching with you. Oh, I just love doing this. I am so glad that I found this. I was working with women. I was working with couples, as a matter of fact. I was doing couples counseling. And it kept being this. It kept being, he cheated on me, and that's why we're having trouble now. I moved past it, but I never really healed from it. So now I throw it in his face, or I make him suffer for it in other ways. And it's much later on, but I never quite got over that. So I was always telling people how to get past the cheating. And then it dawned on me, I was like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be helping women figure out how to get past the cheating, so we don't come to years later. Because let me tell you, I was doing relationship coaching for like 8 years before I decided, okay, yes, I'm going to specialize in just cheating. And all these other women can tell you, oh, I would just leave. I would just kick him to the curb. I wouldn't be with him. They can tell you that all they want to. They are lying. Okay? They are lying. I have couple after couple after couple, so many people, oh, well, yeah, he cheated on me in the past, and I moved past it. I decided to stay. There are so many people who have decided to stay. A lot of those people that tell you you should just leave are in the process of staying right this second. So don't listen to none of that. Trust and believe when I tell you, way more women are staying than are leaving. Okay? Oh, let's see. And this guy said, kind of, I feel guarded even when I'm not upset, and have a hard time getting closer and feeling good there. But you have been making progress, though. Like I said, slow motion is better than no motion. You don't have to force yourself, but you have to give yourself plenty of opportunities. Plenty of opportunities to be close, plenty of opportunities to feel closer to him, and just recognize, pay attention to how your body's feeling. And if you're starting to get tight, you're starting to get tense, do your deep breathing. If you need to step away for a few minutes, go outside, get a little bit of air, come on back and try it again. Because when you run from the triggers chase you, okay? They will indeed chase you down. They get bigger when you run away from them. So if you are feeling fear, if you are feeling guarded, you just do the exact opposite of what that fear is telling you to do, and you'll be on the right track. You will be on the healing path. All right? Let's see. Lori, I have saved the talking for my girlfriends. Girl, that's what I'm trying to say. We got people to talk to. You got friends. You don't have to talk to him about everything. Oh, Lord. And they're so much more fun to talk to. Women are usually much more fun to talk to. The men, no, they don't want to spill the tea like you do. They want to gossip and talk about things that you want to talk about. It's not as much fun either. So yes, absolutely. Save that for your girlfriends. All that extraneous talking. If you are not sparse with your words, but you are selective about your words. If you don't necessarily go ahead and say everything all the time, if you leave some spaces, you're giving opportunity for him to fill those spaces. Does that make sense? If you are not always talking, you're giving him some room. You give him some room to be like, okay, well, maybe I should talk now. Maybe I should say something. Maybe something's going on. Maybe I'd like to say a few things to you. You give him the opportunity because you gave him a little bit of space. So, just be careful about talking a whole bunch. All right, let's see. Anything else? I think that was, is that all the comments? Let me look. Angela, you said, I made the decision to not talk about his cheating or the OP when we are in our bedroom. That's time for just me and him to be close. I am fully for that. That is excellent. It is off limits to talk about that when we are in our room. We are in our safe space, in our sanctuary. That is an excellent thing to do. That's a good way to have arguments, as a matter of fact. You make sure that, okay, no, we're not having any arguments in our bed. We're not doing that. We're not putting no bad juju in our bed. We are going to go and sit at the table. We're going to sit on the couch. We're going to do something else. We're not going to have all that happen in the space that needs to be calm and where we're going to be sleeping together and being intimate together. No, we're going to do that outside of here, and then we'll come back in here. And this is an off-limit space. This is, we're not going to fuss at each other. This is, we loving on each other area all up and through here. I am fully for that, Angela. I am with you on that. Let's see. Did I get everything? I think I got everybody's comments, questions. I think I did. You let me know if there's anything else that you want to talk about. I am so glad that you came and joined me today. I love it when I get to talk to you. I love it when you're here with me and we can have this interaction and we can just go ahead and talk about these things because first of all, I love talking about it. Okay. I'm pretty good at this now. I feel good when I'm talking about it. I know the secrets and I want to tell them all to you. I am so excited every time I get the chance to tell you the secrets to how to be good, to be happy again. I am all for that. High five. I know that's right, Lori. High five. I'm always excited to talk to you. So I'm always excited to talk to you one-on-one. So if you have not yet, go to my Instagram, go to my link tree on my bio, or go to the Love After Cheating group in Facebook and go ahead and click on the link. It's right in the pin section. Just get on an hour call with me. Come on, sit down, tell me what's going on. We will come up with a plan, all right? You do not have to keep on being stressed. You do not have to keep on being afraid. I will tell you what the path is forward from wherever you are right this second, and you can start walking that path. Even if you don't have one of my coaching programs, even if you don't work with me, I will still give you that path forward. I will give you some clues about where you need to be going, what you need to be doing, and you're going to feel better. You're going to talk to me. You're going to be smiling. You're going to be laughing by the end of the conversation. I promise. I'm pretty funny now. I don't know. I didn't think I was funny when I first, that was one of those things that I learned from my husband. I did not think I was funny. I never thought I was funny. And my husband he cracks up listening to me. He thinks I'm crazy. He thinks that I am just the funniest thing on the planet. And so I got to grow like that. I got to feel more comfortable saying the things that I say. And most of it is just natural. Most of it is just coming off the top of my head. But come to find out, I'm funny. Who knew? All right. Anything else? Any other questions, comments, thoughts, complaints? Anything else I can do for you, believers? Let me know. Let me just say, in the group, fabulous work. I have seen, there were people that were in the group that were just new, and some people that were a little bit older that were throwing that fear speech at you. Girl, you should run. I don't know why you're with him. He's just going to cheat again. You all jumped on that. I am fully proud of y'all for that, okay? That was excellent work. Even before I could get to them, you all were saying, hey, wait, hold on. That's not what this group is all about. We are here because we want to reconcile. We are trying to do this. That is exactly what you do with the fear speech in your own head. Okay? The same way your brain is telling you, he's just going to cheat again. No, girl, we are not here for that. That is not what we are here doing. We are believing that our honey is the right person and that we made a good decision and they will do the right thing if given the opportunity to do it again. Ooh, sorry. So that is exactly the same thing. That is exactly the same thing that you're doing when you're dealing with the fear speech in your head. That's exactly what you're doing. You're fighting back against it. You're like, no, that's not true. I know that feels true. I know it feels like, oh, once a cheater, always a cheater. I know that feels like it's true because you've heard it so much. But just because you've heard it doesn't mean that it's so. Okay? I go through other groups sometimes and I answer questions every now and again, just once or twice a week. I answer questions in other groups, and you may have found me through one of the questions that I answered in another group because I'm always saying something very different from the rest of the people. Actually, I was in a group that wasn't even about cheating earlier today, and she was saying that she was having such a hard time trusting her husband, and she was mad that, what did she say? The ex-girlfriend was following him on Instagram, and she didn't trust that because they had hooked up before, they had talked before, and why do you have this woman following you? Made him erase his entire Instagram or whatever. And I was like, she was like, well, what can I do? Because he's saying to me that he feels like, okay, well, he's just not good enough for me. We're never going to be happy. Things aren't going to go right. And I was like, you know what you could do? You could trust him. You could actually do that. I know that it seems scary. I know that everybody else up here is saying, oh, he's gaslighting you and you shouldn't trust him. That's a good thing that you're not. But if you want to be in this relationship with him, you got to make up your mind. Either you do want to be in the relationship or you don't. I do want to trust you or I don't. Because you can't stay in the relationship and stay untrusting forever and ever. It's just not going to work. You're going to want to leave. You're going to be torturing yourself and killing yourself trying to do something that is impossible. You can't have that love and that close relationship and you don't trust. So you can practice trust. Promise you. That's all you need is a little bit of practice. Consistency. Like I said at the beginning, practice your trust. If you don't trust him on his phone, practice just doing your deep breathing whenever his phone goes off. Or if you don't trust him when he goes to work, all right, well, I know that the money is coming up, right? I know that he's got to be where he says he is. I am going to believe the best of him this time. I'm going to trust him. Because trust is not knowing. Trust is believing. It's part of the definition. It's a strong belief in someone. It is not strong proof that you have that somebody is reliable or faithful. That's not what trust is. Trust is just a belief. And so if that's all it is, you can do that. You can do that pretty simply if you want to. Let's see. Peachy, you said if he like asked for time and understanding to be content for now with us being together, with him coming home after work, he said he also lost interest on some things we do together and he's trying to find his identity, and just let him be for the time. Let's let him for the meantime, and he doesn't want things to be forced out of him. Should I let him be, or what should I do about it? You just don't have to force things. You can we just gonna be at peace. Okay, all right, cool. We're just gonna be peaceful. I know that, you can want to keep on talking about it, but we've got to have some of that quiet, introspective, peaceful time together in order to heal. You got to have it and he's got to have it. So, yeah, I mean, it's not a problem. It's okay if you need to give him a little time and understanding, and you take that time and understanding. As you are giving him that space, you go ahead and back off and fill that space up with self-care. Take yourself out. Do the things that you really want to do. Okay? Capricorn season over here on Instagram. Hey, how you doing? But yeah, go for it. Go do the things that take care of you. If you're giving him space, you're also needing to fill up some of that space for you. So go do the things that you like. Go get a makeover. Go get your nails done. Go get your hair done. Go a little shopping. Treat yourself. Treat yourself good. And focus on yourself. And so then you're not reaching out for him. The best way to go about it, I promise you, is to take care of yourself. When you start glowing from within, when you start showing that person that he fell in love with, that took care of herself, that felt good about herself, he's going to remember that, and he's going to close that distance. I promise you he will. I promise. He will close the distance. It feels scary to do. It feels scary to pull back. It feels scary to lean back and allow him to come to you. But girl, you the queen. You're supposed to be able to lean back and let him come to you. Okay? That is what you're supposed to be able to do. You're not supposed to have to chase after him. You're not supposed to have to always be initiating all the conversations and trying to get closer. You don't have to do that. When you start taking care of yourself, do the things that are great and fun for you. Right now I'm in the middle of writing my book, and my honey, if I'm sitting there writing, he's gonna want my attention. It's almost guaranteed. It's sort of a thing, because if you're not paying attention to them, then they want your attention. If you're paying all your attention to them, they're like, oh, I don't need to pay attention because you're already paying all the attention. So back off. It's okay. It's all right to do that. It feels a little bit scary, but it's not a bad thing to do. So I'm fully with it. Let them be. Okay? That makes sense to you, Vision? Let me know. Capricorn season said, it's been 13 months since D-Day and I only see hate when I see him. But it's been 13 months and you're still with him. So that's not the only thing you're seeing now, is it? You are still there. You still want him. There's still some love left in your heart. So you need to start focusing on that. You need to start remembering, why do I love him? Why is it that I'm still here? What exactly is it that was about him that just made my heart go pitter-patter? Is that thing still there? Because chances are it is. My husband, the thing about him that just, just swept me off my feet was I could just be myself. I could be exactly who I was, and he appreciated it. He appreciated how weird I am. He appreciated how fun I was. He appreciated all the things that I had to offer. And, I was like, damn, I really love him. He said, I have a 20-month-old. She loves him. He's got to be a decent guy. If a 20-month-old loves him, he's got to be a decent guy too. And you picked him to have that baby with. So it's not just the 20-month-old. Don't put all that responsibility on a baby. You chose him. You chose him before all this. There's a reason that you chose him. You got to get back to those reasons. You got to start focusing your mind on those things again and see those things again, because the trauma will blind you to them. The trauma will affect your memory, will make it be like, oh, well, nothing good ever happened between us ever. It's not true, because you wouldn't have had a baby with him if nothing good was happening between the two of you. So you got to just take the baby out of the equation. That's too much responsibility to lay on a child for your relationship. Your relationship is about you and how you feel. And that should be it. That's it. We were talking about that at the very beginning of the live. That has to be about you. It can't be about anybody else. It can't be about other situations. It has to be about the fact that you love this person and you want to be with them. And if you keep on reminding yourself that that's the reason that you're here, you will see those reasons again. But if you keep saying to yourself, oh, well, I'm only here because of the baby. I'm not really here because anything else. I don't really care about him. You're not going to see it. You're not going to feel it. You're going to feel that hatred because you keep feeding the hatred. You got to feed into the love. And let me tell you this too. Hate ain't that far away from love. I promise it's not. The opposite of love is indifference. The opposite of love is I just don't care. And if you hate them, you're still real close to the love. Okay, we only hate people that we love. So take some of that fire and fuel it and try and remember the good stuff. Try and remember the reasons that you love him, not that she loves him. That makes sense to you? Hope it does. All right, let's see. BG said this is enlightening, Dasha. I really appreciate it, hun. Lots of love, lots of hearts behind that. Thank you, girl. I try and be enlightening. I want you to see it a different way, because everything that you're thinking, it feels very concrete. It feels like, oh, it has to be this way. And that is just not so. It is just not the truth. It does not have to just be the way that you think it does. It doesn't have to be the way that the fear tells you it is. It doesn't have to be the way that everybody else is telling you it is. You can have this relationship still. You can love this person, feel loved by this person. You can have forgiveness and happiness and loving and honesty and all of that. You can have every single bit of it, and your relationship can be better than it was before the cheating happened. It is better and better for me. Honey, let me tell you, I am spoiled rotten now. It is year after year after year, he gets better and better and better as a husband. And that was because I forgave him. People think that, oh, if I forgive him, then I'm just giving them the green light to cheat on me. You know what you thought, right? It feels like that. But when you forgive somebody, you are giving them a gift that most people have never even seen before. Have you ever done anybody really, really wrong and been forgiven for it? Like, even if you have done somebody wrong, like, have you ever really, really been forgiven? Have you ever had that load just completely lifted off your shoulders? The person said, you know what? I still love you anyway. I forgive you. We're going to move on from this. That is a gift. That is something incredible. That is something that most people cannot do. And so when you do it for this one person, just this one, I'm not asking you to do this for everybody. I'm not asking you to forgive everybody in your whole wide life. I am asking you to forgive the one person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. That person, you owe them an effort at it, okay? If you want to try and stay together forever, you don't think that like forever is going to include them never messing up, right? And it doesn't include you never messing up. So you're both going to need this forgiveness eventually, all right? It's perfectly all right for you to give that to one person. This is that special person. Do it. Go for it, okay? Capricorn season said he cheated with his ex while I was pregnant. Oh, they're always cheating while you're pregnant. All that energy and focus on you and the baby, they feel very left out. They end up doing that. It's like a thing. I don't know what it is. They all cheat when you're pregnant. He literally looked me in the face, celebrated me being pregnant, then slept with her a few days later. Yeah, happens all the time. It's like you go internal. When I was pregnant, I went internal. It was all about me. It was all about me and this baby. I loved him still, I was still considering him a little bit, but yeah, most of my focus was on me and growing this child. And that's where it was. And that's where everybody else's attention was. Everybody else that knows us was like, oh, you're having a baby. They were all into what I was doing and weren't into him. So yeah, it happens all the time. I understand that you're saying that is a reason why you should hate him. I am telling you that is a very, very common thing. And you don't have to hate him for it. I know that your brain is telling you that you should, that, oh, you betrayed me at the worst possible time, at the time that I was so vulnerable, but you can forgive him. Let me tell you, mine cheated on me when I was pregnant and brought the girl to live with us. You want to talk about cheating while they're pregnant? Brought the girl and her child to live with us. Now, he wasn't all the way in his right mind right then. He was suffering from a manic phase. He was a little bit out of his mind at the moment, but he still did it. He still did it. It still was him. It really was. So don't think that was so horrible that you can never forgive him for it, because I forgave him. I was the only one working at the time. I'm paying for this chick to live with us. Okay? Yes, that happened. It absolutely did. But guess what? We came past it. I decided that he wasn't going to ruin things. He was not going to ruin this for me. And we got past it together. So you can absolutely do it, okay? I hope you feel like you can. All right. I think that's about it. Don't see any other questions over here. No other comments. All right. Fabulous. Well, we are going to do an affirmation for the end of this. Let's see. Ooh, I like this one. I actually am glowing at this moment. It says, today I am glowing. Today I have huge amounts of energy and focus to take on any challenge. That's a great affirmation. Today I am glowing. All right. I am most definitely glowing because I am under this light and I'm starting to sweat. But that's all right. We are all glowing together and feeling enlightened and feeling like we are progressing and getting to a better place on the healing path. I am so glad that you joined me for a little stroll down the healing path today. Let me know if you want to get in on one of my sessions. All you got to do is click the link and pick a date and time. I got times going out for like 3 whole weeks. So if you are interested in talking to me, you feel like you need a little bit of assistance, you want to get this done, you want to make this, make some moves towards feeling better, towards getting to the happy ever after again, I am so down for that. And I can't wait to talk to you. All right. So that's about it for today. Thank you so much for joining me for the Healing Hour Live. I will be back again next week. Oh, we're back. We're into July next week. July what day is it? The 7th. And we will be back then right here, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Healing Hour Live. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'll talk to you again next week. Bye.